Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Kuzma. I'm a fine artist and started a career as an illustrator in New York for about 15 years. And I live by the ocean now and wanted to do a little demonstration on some of the paintings I do by the ocean and some of the techniques. Every artist will paint water differently and clouds and so it's something that we can all one has a different way of seeing water in nature, and sometimes it's good to look at, well, how did the artist, how did they paint that, how do they depict that, as we go through our own problem solving. So in this case I'm using water mixable oils and watercolor and a very light drawing to begin with, painting like this. And then they do evolve using memory and different aspects. The painting will evolve. So although there's a subtle drawing under this, there's a lot of power in that subtlety. So I gradually will get to a bolder part of the painting. So, but at this stage it's in, I would say it's still very subtle, and there's a lot of layering in that process. Here I'm just scraping away a little. You can also use a cloth to do this, some of the background. So what I want to do is, using oils, is to enhance some of the base work that I have underneath. So different techniques could be used. I use brushes, of course, but in this case I'm just using what I had in my hand. Oftentimes the different materials and the variety also help. They're helping factors. So again, with the painting here, this is a local scene, and I'm just going to add, I'd like to add some complementary contrast to the sea, so that the subtlety is brought out. Also, I do use pastels, and a lot of times this medium, which is the last medium that I use over my work, uses a wax medium called a Dorland's wax medium. It's a petroleum product, and that will fix the pastel on the surface. So this is something, techniques that many artists use, different techniques, and this is just one that I use often toward the end of a painting. So I'm also using my memory. I would say influences other painters that I would say are concerned with similar processes of picture making, like say Turner. I think was way ahead of his time. Had formless paintings. You know, they had form, but then they broke from form, and he was concerned more the essence of things, not necessarily defining everything, but how it would create the expanse of space, mood, movement. So Whistler, Seascapes as well. You know, a lot of life in these paintings. So I would say there's some of my influences, and American influences might be Arthur Dove. I just finished a studio award at the Vermont Studio Center, and I was so fortunate to be part of a tradition of where Vermont artists, amidst all that beauty in nature and energy and life, lived and painted. I remember in New York that I did meet Wolf Kahn and at a workshop many years ago, and so it's auspicious that he had passed away, and I'm here painting in the studios that he had founded at the Vermont Studio Center. So I'm mentioning that because there's a very good tradition of painting in America. American artists have been painting and working very hard to paint the beauty that they see, especially in the areas they lived. So, little side note, but I feel like I am in that that tradition, having painted in New York as an illustrator, and now all that experience is there that I'm drawing from. So I've painted a few clouds as I speak, and just wanted to again just do a little introduction into some of my seascapes. I have many genres of work, and I think a lot of artists, just like Whistler, who many portraits, he was an illustrator as well. They didn't just do portrait work or one genre. They did a genre of seascape. So it's taking me some time to be comfortable with the ocean, and I've been painting it for the last 15 years extensively, I would say, and it has taught me a lot about expanding my own painting horizons. So this is a work on paper, much like the other one. This is much thicker paper, and this is a building technique to get the feeling of the ocean, the luminosity, its presence. So this happens to be a rainbow that's going into the sea. So it can be hopeful for a painter to paint a scene like this. And I use pastels over that. So this is a way to bring out the luminosity and also build the color and texture. So you can see it up close. It's quite a lot of texture. And I have a large series of this work. This is only a fraction of the work. And if you would like to see more of it, please go to website artofkuzma, Kuzma, also at the Arts Garage in Atlantic City. That's the Noise Stockton Arts Garage in Atlantic City, where you'll find many of these paintings. These, like I said, are just a few, and I'm just adding highlights while I'm on this interview of a few studies to show that, well, I'll paint on location, and I'll do a number of these, and then when I go to the studio, I'll work from my memory and build up on what I've done earlier. So I would invite you all, if you have any questions, to look me up at artofkuzma, or if you are in Atlantic City, please stop by the Arts Garage, and you'll see on that website quite a lot of work that is from the same subject, and I'll get into it in more depth in the next video. And for now, I just wanted to just do a little demonstration, a little introduction, and to invite you to try to paint the ocean. There's so much in the water element, the sky, to work from, and it's a lot to convey through media. So I prefer to use this media when I paint on location and in the studio to get the feeling of what I'm seeing. So again, till next time, happy painting, and look forward to seeing you and your comments. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so.